Do you believe in destiny or do you believe in free will? I'm kind of in the middle where I believe in kind of free will to pursue your destiny, if that makes sense. Kind of doesn't, but it's kind of where I'm at in life. I've taken my free will to pursue what I think I'm called to do, but maybe that isn't destiny. In this episode, it's 1839, Duncan Trussell, Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience. As you guys know, I'm Coach Colin, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you're looking for the absolute best insights to the podcast you love, you've come to the right place. Now hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000. Let's go. Destiny or free will? Let's hear it.
Wait, that guy has very strong hands. When you shake his hands feel like his fingers are like double thick fingers. You know, like you have like double thick Oreo stuffing?
Yeah.
That's like his fingers. He has like double thick fingers. His fingers have like crazy muscles in them.
Have you ever heard the theory that there's a time and a place where you're going to die? It's destiny. There's no way to avoid it. It's just the way it is. Meaning that you can't die until that point arrives. So the risk takers, it's like they figured that out. They know that like they're not going to die yet. So they're able to do all that shit fearlessly. You ever heard that before? That there's like it's like written in the fabric of the universe.
Right, but that's easy to prove and disprove at the same time.
Sure.
If you just back engineer it. Like, of course, when you die, you were destined to die, stupid. That's how you were living your life. You're overthinking shit.
How dare you? No!
You're
How
overthinking
dare
shit.
you?
Everybody who gets to that conclusion is already dead. You're like, oh, it was destiny. Yeah, it was definitely destiny if you did those things. Here's the thing. Here's the Sam Harris question. Are you doing those things because of free will? Or are you doing those things because all the life experiences, everything that has happened to you
Right.
and you've seen and you are and you've given to the world, it brings you to this moment in time and it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
And shit is just going to go down.
Yep.
And your thoughts and your opinions on things are all like under the capture of all these other influences.
Yeah, no free will.
No free
You're like
will.
an equation.
Yes.
That's gotten into like a room where someone's fucking puking eggnog into your mouth, and there's nothing you could have done about
Right.
it. You're just a series of
Right.
like just the way data expresses itself in time is like
Right.
that. Yeah, man. I mean, I think what's useful about thinking in that way is it hopefully like helps you loosen up about your identity a little bit, you know? And like
That's a problem with people.
yeah.
Identities are a weird thing. You just decide you're a thing. You know, well, I'm a fucking cowboy.
Yeah, right.
And then you're a cowboy.
Yep.
You decide, I'm a liberal from New York, and my perspective is always clear. I'm blue no matter who.
No matter what.
Duncan, the alternative is Nazis. And, you could be that guy.
Right.
Like, there's so many people you can be and so many combinations of people you can be. And it's so attractive because you can find little groups of people who agree with you.
Right.
And you all meet, and you're the young Republican Party. And you get together, and you talk shit about the Democrats.
Yeah.
And you talk about, when does life actually, when is conception? Is it at conception? Is that life? You have debates. You have conversations on how to frame
Sure.
it. How do we frame it to the libs? Get them to understand.
Yeah. Liberal tier time.
This fucking Roe versus Wade thing freaks me out.
Yeah.
Man. It freaks me out.
Why?
For so many reasons. First of all,
I don't want to get into Roe versus or Roe v. Wade or whatever it's called. I don't want to get into that part. But the free will and the destiny thing. And then even to what Duncan said, like the risk takers have figured out that it's all destiny. So it doesn't matter what they do before that time. That's kind of true, like you can do whatever you want before it's your time to die. And you should do the fullest. You should do the most. You should make it huge. Your life should be a movie. You should be a superhero, like Joe Rogan says. You're the superhero of your own movie. But of course, like Joe said, if you're living that way, when you do die, of course that will be destiny. Like, because that's the time you died. So it's like, well, I guess time's up. But I think what the risk takers actually have figured out is that it's so important for them to live as much as they can, because the one destiny that we all really have is that we're all destined to die. And it doesn't matter where or how, because when it's over, it's over. So you should take risks while you're here. And you should do as much as you can. Like, I don't know. But then it, like, also the question of the free will. Like, is free will, like, I feel like I have free will. I feel like that. Like, I decided to buy all the camera equipment like 6 years ago, and I decided to start using it, and I decided to start a vlog on YouTube like in 2014. I decided to do that, or 2015. I decided to, and like I worked at it, and I learned things, and I started a video production company because I learned how to edit video, and like it feels like that was all free will, you know? Because then, is it? Like, but it can't just be like, oh, this is all predestined. But then sometimes, like Steve Jobs talks about in his commencement speech, it's like you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. And if you look back on your life to where you are right now, it does look like all of this was destined to happen, because that's when you start connecting the dots, you know? Like, I did mushrooms with my buddy, and we were in his basement, and YouTube, the algorithm just went to GoPro videos, and I was like out of my mind high, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And like a voice came to me, and it was like, you should be making videos. You should make videos. And I watched those GoPro videos for 3 hours, just out of my brain. And by the time I was done, I'm like, I have to make videos. So when I look back, and then also it's like I'm a coach, and I've been through horrifying experiences, a bunch of horrible experiences. You know, I faced times where I didn't want to be around anymore. I've faced times where I was, you know, on welfare. I faced times where, you know, I was selling all sorts of stuff. I was living in the street, like I was in the streets doing stuff. Like I've faced all sorts of different situations. And now when I coach people and they talk about any situation, I understand right away. Like, I just get it, you know? It's weird. So I feel like when I look back, I'm like, oh, I was destined to go through all of that stuff. But at the same time, while I was going through all of that stuff, it seemed like it was all just free will. Like, I was just moving through life. I was doing what I had to do, and this thing came up, and I did this, and I have no idea. That's why I love when these guys put these goddamn suits on and these wigs. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about free will versus destiny? Do you feel like you were destined to leave a comment, or do you feel like it was your free will? Were you destined to see this video, or was it just free will? Like, how do you think it all works up until this point in your life right now? What do you think's been going on? Destiny, fate, or free will? I'm out.